Welcome back to JBSports. I'm your host, Jonathan Burton, and today we are back in the normal setup. It looks way better than the other setups I had. I was on vacation trying to find places to record, so it was a little rough, but we got it back together now. So today we're talking about the Olympics basketball team for the USA specifically. Then we're going to go into some, oddly enough, mostly Patriots news, just because it has to deal with Brandon Aiyuk and what he said about the team. We'll get more into that. And then maybe we'll get into some of the Rockets. We'll see, but I think I'll probably stick to these two topics for today. So, going into it, Team USA basketball, they are both in the gold medal game. You have the women's team who just beat Australia today, 85-64. They've been dominating the Olympics, so I think both these teams have a high chance to bring it home. Team USA men's basketball in the finals game is going against France. France have some good players on the team. Frank Ntilikina, you have Victor Wembanyama, Rudy Gobert, Evan Fournier. So you have some players that are in the NBA that aren't terrible, but aren't amazing. Like, of course, Victor Wembanyama is good. He's good. I'm not saying he's bad. Rudy Gobert, he's always been in that category where he could be good, he's bad. It's always mixed between. And the other two, they're not terrible. But you have some NBA players, so they're better than a lot of people in the world, of course. But Team USA, the Avengers, whatever you want to call them, Lay Avengers, whatever nickname you want to call them, they're going to get the gold medal this year. I'm just saying, when you have NBA stars bench on a team and they still win, it's pretty good. Like, of course you can say, like, Rudy Gobert did technically get benched. He just doesn't play as much, which is kind of sad if Rudy Gobert got benched on Team France, which, I mean, I guess isn't, like, perfect for his career, but it does not look good, but it's not going to hurt him, I guess, because he's getting paid a lot, so why does he care? But looking at the tournament, the women's, they beat Australia to make it to the gold medal game. And then right now, as I'm filming this, France and Belgium are in their semifinal game in the break. France 31, Belgium 36. So right now, it looks like they're going against Belgium. To be fair, women's WNBA, best women's basketball in the world. So I think they'll take it. Piece of cake is going to be the men's final game, just because you have Victor Wembanyama versus everybody on Team USA, because it's really just Wemby by himself in that Team USA. The Avengers, Lay Avengers. I think mostly it's going to be fun for a little bit, and then I think Team USA will win. If they don't win, 4 years later, we got to come back and just destroy everyone, because some of these games have been pretty close. The last game, Steph really came in handy and helped us win that, so you got to be a little worried, but you're excited. I mean, the bronze medal game is Serbia versus Germany, so Jokic can bring back a bronze medal, but that's not as, fun. But definitely United States men's basketball and females basketball is bringing home gold medals to help us get our gold medal count to number 1 again. We are 1 below China. Hopefully we can take 2 wins and become number 1 again. We have like 108 medals, I think, last time I checked. So we have the most medals out of everyone. So we're really doing good, but we got to get some. We're going to get the gold medals from basketball, of course. And Noah Lyles, hope he gets better. He got COVID before he ran the 200, which sucks because that is his best one, but 100 meter, he got the gold medal, so thank you. I don't get to hate as much. Of course, he did say world champion or what, but, he was just talking trash. All's fair in sports. So you just got to back it up. He got a gold medal, and he got a bronze medal, so it's not bad at all. Unfortunately, he can't run the rest he was going to do to help us, but USA will still do good. I mean, in the game, in the one race, so another American did get silver, so good for him. I forgot his name, but hey, he showed up, got us a silver medal. Very good for him. I think he should get talked about a little more than just Noah Lyles with COVID. But he says something like, I don't talk trash enough to be on the news. So, I don't know. I think he should be talked about a little more. That's why I'm congratulating him. So, we'll move on to NFL news. Brandon Aiyuk turned down a trade offer from the Patriots to the San Francisco 49ers for Brandon Aiyuk. Brandon Aiyuk stated that he didn't like the quarterback situation at the Patriots, which their quarterback room right now is starting quarterback Jacoby Brissett, which will change probably by the end. Second in command, Drake May. Third, Bailey Zapp. And fourth, Joe Milton III. Like I said, I think Drake May will end up becoming number one quarterback, and Jacoby Brissett will, again, take the number two quarterback spot to a young starting QB for the second year in a row. Sam Howell, miss you. I've heard he's not doing as good with the Seahawks, so I hope that changes pretty quick for his sake, because I love Sam Howell. I have a Commanders jersey that I got at Christmas, and unfortunately will never be able to wear to a Commanders game to show to Sam Howell. So that sucks, but you know what? It's okay. We still got it. It's history. So Jacoby Brissett, as I said, will get stepped over by Drake May. And you could think about this and you'd be like, oh, Brandon Aiyuk wants to go to like the Steelers, the Commanders. And if you look at the Commanders, I'm a Commanders fan, I hate to say this, but our quarterback rooms aren't totally different. I mean, our quarterback room is Jane Daniels starting, as was shown the other day when they did say Jane Daniels would start. Then Marcus Mariota, Jeff Driscoll, and Sam Hartman. I mean, you can say they're kind of similar as the young up-and-comer, like rookie that can be a star, Jane Daniels, Drake May, the veteran that kind of had their time and it's not working as they thought it would, Marcus Mariota, and Jacoby Brissett. I mean, Jacoby Brissett had a pretty good year with the Browns, but he's in the same category as Marcus. Then third string, they're not really too good, but they're good enough to be there. Not saying they're better than me, and they're like in the NFL, so I can't really say anything about it, but like just going off observation, you got Bailey Zapp, horrible year last year, and Jeff Driscoll kind of just hangs around, so they're kind of in the same one. And then the quarterback who was drafted very late or was undrafted, Sam Hartman and Joe Milton, trying to prove themselves to get on the roster. So you kind of have a pretty similar quarterback room. I mean, it sounds similar to me. It looks similar. You got that young star, the veteran, the guy kind of just hanging out there trying to cling on, and then the undrafted or late drafted quarterback trying to make a name for themselves to get on a roster. So same quarterback room. And you ask, like, why is Brandon Aiyuk okay with going to the Commanders but not wanting to go to the Patriots? Well, as you've seen before, Brandon Aiyuk has played with Jaden Daniels. He's had games with him, so he knows how he plays. He probably likes how he played, and he probably knows he can play that well. So while you have the same quarterback room, you have more connections with Jaden Daniels than Drake May. And he just knows how he plays. He likes how he plays. So he'd be more comfortable going there because there's some similarity. There's some like comfortability there. While the Patriots, while he's probably just saying the quarterback room, he probably doesn't like a lot of the Patriots stuff. Because going into the Patriots wide receiver room, of course he'd like to be wide receiver number one, but you still want a little bit of help. You look at the Patriots wide receiver room, there's no help. Their starters right now are Kendrick Bourne, Demario Douglas, and Jalen Polk. Not really a good room compared to the Commanders' starting room so far, which you have Terry McLaurin, Jahan Dotson, Luke McCaffrey, and if you could put freaking De'Ami Brown in there, who is another good part of the team, who could also be a third wide receiver. We have a lot more pieces pretty much everywhere. I think at the Jets practice we did have a little bit of a rough time, but we usually bounce back pretty quick. Not last year, but like from small things like that, we can bounce back. The upsetting thing is I heard Emmanuel Forbes did not do that good, which kind of sucks, but back to like the comparison, I think overall we have a better team, so that's one reason Brandon Aiyuk would rather be there, but especially with the quarterback situation, comfortability is key for the NFL, and money, they probably offered him a good contract, but he wants comfortability to go to a team. The Commanders would give him more of a comfortability, and when I was talking about those wide receivers, you'd look at it and be like, hey, you're missing someone for the Patriots, Juju Smith. He got released today. Juju did not have a good year last year. I specifically remember a game last year where he bailed us out from letting a ball just go straight up in the air. He, in his hands, just hit it up. And we intercepted it. It was great. I mean, when I saw the Quan Martin got the interception, by the way, I saw it. I was happy we won. It was a little upsetting that we had to, that was our way of winning it, but I wouldn't argue with it. It was one of our 4 wins last year, which that's terrible. But yeah, going back to it, Juju Smith did not have a good year last year. He had some mistakes. He was definitely not the old Steelers Juju. So he gets released. And the Patriots pretty much have, like, no one. And you're thinking, oh, Brandon Aiyuk goes there? That would be perfect. He's a star wide receiver. You have money to give him. And you absolutely need a wide receiver right now. And the 49ers just signed Robbie Chosen-Anderson. So you're like, oh, they're really setting up to be able to trade him, which they are. You could also go to Steelers news, where the 49ers requested a wide receiver in the trade for Brandon Aiyuk. They said they want one from the Steelers or something. So, which the Steelers really don't have a wide receiver to give up either. They really don't have anyone but Pickens, so that's why. They drafted a new one from Michigan, of course, Wilson. And you add Brandon Aiyuk. That's a pretty good trio. That's a trio you want, but you didn't really have a wide receiver piece to really trade that's enticing. While you could say that about the Commanders, honestly, I think De'Ami Brown, I mean, I guess it could be biased, but De'Ami Brown wouldn't be a bad receiver to put there. But now that they picked up Robbie Chosen-Anderson, they have that wide receiver they want. So now it's just who can probably give the most money to them or can give like a good piece. We could still offer De'Ami Brown and some picks for him, which I'd be okay with, because having him there would be great. You could literally have number one receivers, as I've said before, in a reel, and you could have a number 2 in John Dotson, who could get better and possibly become a number 1 receiver one day. But right now he's still a number 2, but that's still a good lineup. So Brandon Aiyuk, it's just such a tough situation because he thought it'd be done by now. You think he'd be traded, or he just hold out, which he's gone to training camps, I believe, if I saw it correctly, and he's just waiting to be traded. You can't find a suitable trade for the 49ers they want. He'll just hold out probably. But, like, even if he does play, his chemistry with the team is charred. It's gone. He said he didn't want to be there. You literally have a player in that organization who has held out before that got their money, but said the chemistry was pretty much ruined for a little while. George Kittle, he said when he held out for the team for a better contract, the chemistry after was a little shaky. So his was shaky, but by now you can imagine Brandon Aiyuk's chemistry with the team, gone, just like dust. So you really want to get him traded before the season starts. I would love for it to be the Commanders. I don't know if we're going to get him. Steelers would be next up. And then, of course, the Patriots. With the Patriots, like I said, the QB situation, he doesn't like. And you could even go to the Steelers situation. You got the Grizzly vet, Russell Wilson. Justin Fields isn't a young up-and-comer, but he was a kind of higher draft pick. So you kind of have that same situation. He's trying to prove himself. He's trying as much as possible, but it's, I guess you could say, it's a better situation than the other two, but I don't really know. I don't think so. I think, honestly, out of the QB room, the Commanders, I could be completely biased, have the best one, but just thinking about it, maybe Russell Wilson is the best out of all of them, but you never know. Going into it, though, they're mostly the same QB situation teams and wide receiver teams. Commanders already have the best one, so I think while I would love to have him there, I think the Commanders probably need him the least amount of the 3 teams. But you also have more teams that could benefit than just the Patriots and the Steelers. Like the Bills, I think maybe they try to go for him for once. They should have, because they got Keon Coleman and Curtis Samuel, who are okay. Keon Coleman needs to prove himself, But Curtis Daniel, he's a reliable receiver. I mean, I watched him for a few years. He's not bad, but he didn't really prove himself to be like a number one. So he's not going to be your number one. He'll be a number two like he was for us, but he's not really going to be that number one receiver. Keon Coleman could be that, but I don't know if he's going to be that too. So the Bills would benefit from, a lot of teams would benefit from Brandon Aiyuk, but in the running, so what I've heard so far, Patriots, they're out. He refused to trade. He doesn't like a QB situation. I don't think they're not going to be able to fix it before the season, unless like 49ers force it, but they can't. So you got the Steelers who, since 49ers got a receiver to kind of replace him, I guess, they don't need to add that wide receiver, so we'll see how that goes. 49ers have just said they want a resolution to this soon. I think it's probably adding a lot of drama. He's already shattered his relationship. And apparently, like the 49ers wanted George Pickens for Brandon Aiyuk, what I just read. And that's not going to happen. You're not getting rid of your star receiver. So they're really asking for a lot. I can't even imagine what they asked from Washington. I don't feel good about giving up Perry, Jahan Dotson, even Luke McCaffrey. So I don't really see any of our wide receivers going unless they just somehow we make De'Ami Brown look amazing. It's just rough because they want a resolution, but you're asking for a lot for Brandon Aiyuk, who I think is good, but a lot of people say is overrated. They said he's a one-year kind of guy. So it's rough to trade him off. It's been a hard situation, but I think it can be resolved eventually. So it's really all about timing, just getting an offer that's good enough for them. But going into more football, Commanders, we have the Commanders versus Jets tomorrow, I believe. Yes, tomorrow in the preseason. Jane Daniels is starting the preseason game, so this is a very big, important step for him. We had a joint practice between the two teams, which, like I said, apparently didn't go the best for the Commanders, which sucks, but, I think we can bounce back. Like I said earlier, we have some good starters. Jane Daniels, I think, can be good. Brian Robinson Jr., thankfully, is the starter. Terry McLaurin, Jahan Dotson, Luke McCaffrey, all good. Zach Ertz, good. The big kind of word, though, is left tackle. Brandon Coleman beat out Cornelius Lucas, which one thing about left tackle is I really want to trade up in the draft to get one. So, Brandon Coleman being there, I thought he was more of an experiment. We're really throwing him out to the wolves right now just because I don't think he's starter material yet. But of course, Cornelius Lucas isn't starter material. So you really just have, compared to their defensive line, which Jets have a good defense, you really have two left tackles that are here and here. So we'll see how it goes with Brandon Coleman. This is a really big proving thing for him. You have other kind of more established linemen like Nick Allegretti, Tyler Biadasz, Sam Cosmi, who is a lot of people's most improved lineman. So Sam Cosmi is probably our best one. Andrew Riley had a rough year last year. Hopefully he can fix it, make it better. So we'll see how that goes. Then defense, you have stars like Daron Payne, Dorrance Armstrong, Frankie Louvu, Bobby Wagner, which Jordan McGee, hopefully he gets some time. And then you got Cleveland Farrell. I kind of wanted to see KJ Henry get those minutes because I like KJ Henry. I think he should have got more time last year, but he didn't. We'll see if he can prove himself, but, And then you got, Dante Fowler Jr. can be good, but then kind of in the back, which is, I think, what we're most scared of, you got Emmanuel Forbes, Benjamin St. Juste, Mike Sandstrom. Mike Sandstrom, I think they've been trying out in a lot of positions, which is good because they said he could do a lot more for the team. So I'm happy about that. But that's the part I'm worried about, because you got Garrett Wilson on the Jets, so if he does start for the Jets, you're really going to see how it goes, but they might not even start some of their star players like we are. So we'll see if, Emmanuel Forbes can even lock down some second stringers. So we're really going to have to see how that goes. And then you got Michael Davis as a backup. Hopefully he gets some time to see what he can do. But safeties, I think we're looking good. Jeremy Chin and Quan Martin. Derek Forrest, and Jeremy Reese kind of knocked out of that spot. It's tough for them, but you got new people in town. You got people who are young and are proving themselves. So they didn't step up in time, and, you just got to deal with it. Kicking team, we have Tressway. Love Tressway. I've always said Tressway is like our glue. He keeps the team together, which we need that. He's one of the people who have always kind of been there. Tyler Ott, he's a good long snapper, which is the one I was kind of scared about. We had Cheeseman last year, who was absolutely abysmal, probably one of the worst long snappers I've ever seen. So, you have Noah. We're not going to even try to Noggin as our kick returner. Kick return is so weird this year that I can't really say anything about it until we see it for the Commanders. And then punting return, my good old friend of the Commanders, Jamison Crowder, returning. He had a pretty good season last year. Took over that spot when our other one got injured. And then Jahan Dotson in second, which I don't think will get to that, because I don't think Jamison Crowder will get hurt. But the big part of the team is our field goal kicker, extra point kicker, place kicker, Riley Patterson. I've heard he's might have a little struggle, but the main thing is we had a very subpar kicking last year with Joey Sly. Love Joey Sly. He had a really good long kick last year, but he wasn't as consistent. I think he went to the Jags and got kicked off that team, so he wasn't the player for us. He's not the best place kicker, so we'll see if he ever gets on the team. I hope he does, for his sake. I did like Joey Sly. I really did, but it's rough. Kicking for us right now is a kind of rough spot. It's a sore spot. So hopefully we can pick it up. Going off of his stats last year, extra point, 93.2%. Field goal percentage, 88.9%. The longest was 52. So I guess it's a step-up year, but hopefully we don't have to go to field goals too much and we can just stick to extra points, which he had a pretty good percentage. I mean, I think it should be probably higher. But maybe it's just the team he was on. Hopefully he can pick it up, because our kicking is rough. We used to have an amazing kicker. If you don't know, Mosley. He used to put on like 18 different sacks, and he was pretty good. And he's the only kicker in the NFL to ever win MVP. So, kind of good history with kickers. He was amazing. And we've just had terrible kicking from that. So, that's what I'm mostly scared of, because Joey Sly cost us a lot of games last year with his kicking. So, I'm really worried about that throughout the season. Preseason, I guess, can show you if he's going to do any good, but preseason's totally different than regular season, which I guess you could say that with Jane Daniels, even though I'm saying this is how Jane Daniels can prove himself. Preseason, if they don't start their defense, can be way different than regular season. So really, all of it goes to regular season. So I can say, oh, prove yourself in preseason. Oh, he looks good in preseason. But I always say that's different than actual NFL football in the normal season. So we'll see how that goes. I say this every time I talk about the Commanders. I'm hoping for 7 wins. I say that low just because I've been a Commanders fan my whole life. They disappointed me every single year, so I'm not going to go any more ambitious about it. Jane Daniels is really good. He is a bad man. He can definitely be good, but we got to wait. And a lot of our established stars, they're getting older. They had either a down year last year because the team was so bad, or they're upset with the team. So this year is a really big prove-me year in Washington for me, with the new head coach, with the kind of young people getting on this team, and some of the veterans that are coming on a 1-year deal, maybe prove themselves to get more of a deal. And like some of the new people got, like Frankie Louvu, he's pretty good in the training, in the joint practice we had against the Jets. I heard there was a lot of plays where if it wasn't a joint practice and it was a real game, he'd be getting sacked. So he's doing pretty good. I really hope Jordan McGee can get some time to prove himself. I've heard stuff like Jamin Davis being on the line, not doing well. So honestly, there's so many players this year that it's a prove me year. Washington is in a big state where it's turning into a new era, and you want to start the era off good. And like I said, so many players on a prove me year. You have Jane Daniels, got to prove yourself as a starting quarterback in the NFL. Luke McCaffrey, prove you can be a receiver in the NFL, because a lot of people are worried about that. Jamin Davis, can you get a contract? Can you play good at any position? Because linebacker, he was rough. He's not doing good on the line, apparently, so we'll see how that goes. Jordan McGee, you got that new, young linebacker. You have so many people who are getting looked at with a magnifying glass. So it's a lot of pressure. So hopefully they can reel it in, do well. Kickers, Tressway, I guess you could say it's a premier just because he's getting older and we might have to pick a new punter soon, which is sad. But I think he's been a captain a few times. He's good for the team, and he's not a bad punter at all. If you look at the statistics, it's been the last few years have been down, but he was the glue holding us together, in my opinion, just because he had to punt so much, and he stayed pretty consistent. So we'll see where that goes. But preseason game tomorrow, Commanders versus Jets. I think I can watch it. Hopefully I can. I will probably watch it any way I can possible. But big game for us. Hopefully it goes well. It's scary, honestly. It should be scary for me, but as a fan watching it, being disappointed year after year, it's just rough to watch just because you get so much hope with the new ownership coming in last year and then winning 4 games. Half is the players' fault, but also our coaching staff was not good. You've seen us get completely revamped. New coach, new offense coordinator, new defensive coordinator. So we have a whole new thing, which gives you hope that maybe this new training team, training staff, coaching staff, all this new stuff can help us. So now I'm pretty sure our coaching staff is good, so the ball is in Washington's court to go further with it. So we'll see. It's worrying, mostly the kicking, the place kicker, just because we've had history recently with having bad ones. So we'll see how it goes. But thank you guys for watching. This has been an episode of JB Sports. It's nice to be in a new setup. There's some stuff going on soon that I will have a video probably about to talk to you guys about. This the future of this channel. But we'll see when that comes. Thank you guys for watching. Have a great weekend. There's probably going to be some reels coming out, so stay tuned for that. Maybe from some older episodes, which I don't know if it's worth putting out, but we'll figure out. Thank you guys for watching. Have a great weekend. Be ready for the next episode, and bye.